Hi everyone, it's Gemma. Welcome back to Pampered Wolf and welcome to the second installment in the blush series. So I've already gone through all of my favourite powder blushes and there were some phenomenal powder blushes in that first video. If you haven't seen that already, I will link it in the description box for you so you can watch that a little bit later on. Those powders do not look like powder on the skin. So if you're quite frightened of powder blushes, if you're not really liking a lot of powder on the skin because you feel like it looks like powder sitting on top of the skin, you may want to try out some of those blushes because they really don't look like that. However, if your favorite blush products are more of a liquid or a cream, you need to stick around in this video. We're going to go through all of my favorites and my favorite shades. So it's not just about shade choice in this video. It's all about consistency, blendability, and everything that makes a really good blush. We're going to go through matte blushes, we're going to go through a luminous matte, we're also going to go through more of a luminous dewy and finish off with those radiant blushes. So let's get cracking. If you are new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload 2 to 3 videos here on YouTube every single week. I'm also on Instagram if you fancy checking me out over there as well. And I would seriously appreciate it if after this video, during this video, whenever you like, pretty much, if you've enjoyed what you've watched, if you found it helpful in some way, come and join the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. So I actually had my hair down this morning. It looked really nice. I washed it last night. It was really fresh. And then I went on the school run this morning without a coat or an umbrella and it teamed it down with rain. And I looked like a drowned rat by the time I got in. Hence why my hair is now up. Anyway, got one of B's little bobbles in and I quite like it. Let's jump straight into natural matte blush. Now there is only one blush in this category, but I am going to move on to a luminous matte category in just a second. This one deserved a category all to itself though. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it so much I have 5 shades. So this is the NARS Air Matte Blushes and they are stunning. The only one that's not a natural matte is the shade Orgasm, which has some sparkle in it. But I have the shades Freedom, Rush, Torch, and Hushed. Now, what I want to say about these blushes is do not be afraid of colour. I mean, if you have a look at this one, this is the shade Torch. This is a beautiful warm shade. It looks really frightening in the container. You take the tiniest little bit out with your finger, put it in the palm of your hand to warm up, massage it around a little bit, and then you can either go in with your finger and apply it with your finger or go in with a brush, which is my preferred method of application. It looks stunning on the cheek. These are quite airbrushing, they last all day, and they are very easy to build the pigmentation on the cheek. So you can have these quite subtle or you can have them quite vibrant. And if you live in quite a hot, humid country and you want your blush to last all day, you also don't want it to be too luminous on the cheek. You want it to be quite airbrushing and pretty much withstand a bullet. These are definitely for you. They're gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Let's move on to the more luminous matte category. Now these are going to be in between a matte and a dewy finish, but they're going to have all of the characteristics of a matte blush. So these are going to stay put, they are going to dry down, they're not going to have a sticky finish. The longevity is going to be huge, but they're going to have that subtle glow, which is so beautiful and really natural looking. So this first one I actually have on today and it is heavenly. It's so beautiful. I've gone a bit overboard today and gone blush overkill, but I thought, you know what, it's a blush video. Have every right. And if you own one of these blushes, you will completely understand. This is from Lisa Eldridge and it's one of her enlivening blushes. Difficult to say, not for most people, but it is for me. This one is in the shade Dante's Dream and it's so beautiful. So these are sold out across the board at the moment. I couldn't get the shade that I wanted, but I'm so glad that I couldn't because this is lovely and I will use this all the time. So it's a beautiful browny, tawny shade. So flattering, really flattering. Again, this can scare you when it comes out of the tube. It's really vibrant, very dark. But if you just apply the slightest amount, you can apply this with your fingertips, you can apply this with a brush and blend it out. It blends out effortlessly and it just leaves that beautiful glowy sheen on the skin. And believe me, this lasts all day. So one more thing I want to mention before I move on to the next one is this has added skincare in here, so it's actually kind to your skin as well. Plus it has blurring pigments in here, so it's very airbrushing, it's very smoothing, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I can't pick a fault. Now, let me just say this before I move on to the next blush, that I have been accused, and other influencers have been accused, of only recommending products that we can then get paid on and create an affiliate link and earn money off that affiliate link. I don't earn any money off this. This does not have an affiliate program. Another couple of products in here don't have affiliate programs either. I do not just recommend things to you if I can get paid off the back of it. If it's a good product, I will let you know about it. So I'm not earning any money from this, but I'm recommending that you all go out and try one. If you can get your hands on one with the restock, highly recommend them. They are lush, really, really luxurious and beautiful and stunning and girly and just, oh. Moving on to the next product, which is also a luminous matte. And it's so beautiful. It really is, again, really pigmented, very easy to apply, very easy to blend out, lasts all day, leaves that gorgeous luminous sheen on the surface of the skin, but has all the effects of a matte. So this will withstand pretty much anything. And it's from Hourglass. This is one of the Hourglass Vanish Stick Blushes, and this is in the shade Sacred. It's just a lovely dusky rose shade. Simply delightful. This is so creamy and feels so lightweight on the skin and yet dries down to a touch dry finish, even though it has that luminous sheen on the surface, very similar to the Lisa Eldridge, but this is much more expensive. You are getting a lot of product here and very similar to the Lisa Eldridge. You won't run out of this anytime soon, so it's definitely an investment. I've only got one shade because the price put me off. I bought this myself and I thought, blimey, that is really expensive for a blush. I may go out and buy another shade now I've tried it and I know that I absolutely love it, but watch this space. Moving on to something slightly more affordable. This one is from Revolution and I'm really impressed with this. This is part of their Super Dewy range and it's one of their liquid blushes. Now this is in the shade... Do you know? I don't even know. Flushing for You. So it's in the shade Flushing for You. I have these in several shades. I will link the shades that I've got and their undertones in the description box. I love this. I did a video not so long ago where I did a get ready with me and tried these on. I am much more impressed with them than I was in that video after continued use. I've got used to the product. I think it's really nice and it dries down to a touch dry finish. It's not sticky, and for an affordable liquid blush, that is impressive. It really is. The formula is easy to blend. It's really beautiful on the skin, very lightweight. I don't see what's not to like about this product. It's a great product. Lots of different shades to choose from, but this one's my favorite. Okay, let's move on to the Luminous Dewy category. This first one I want to mention I am in love with. This featured in a previous one of my drugstore better than high-end videos because this is super affordable and yet it is phenomenal quality. It's from Milani. This is one of their cheek kisses and it's in the shade Nude Kiss. So it goes on really smoothly. It actually goes on more like a matte, and then you get that subtle luminosity that's coming through the skin that's very, very natural, but again, not sticky. I Really am in love with this. If you haven't tried any of the Milani cream blushes before, then I highly recommend that you do. If you're not really sure about cream blushes, this is definitely a great place to start because it's an affordable way of dipping your toe in and seeing whether you like cream blushes. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, next product is another affordable product. If you are a member of Beautify, I highly recommend you get your hands on one of these. These are the Beautify Super Cheeks, and this one is in the shade Bare Blush. It's so pretty and girly and youthful and very English rose. This is more of a dusky rose shade. And it doesn't have a hint of sparkle in this, but leaves a beautiful luminous sheen on the surface. Again, not sticky. Oh, I really like this shade. It's one of those that I pick up in the height of summer when I want very little makeup on my skin, but I just want that flush. So just picking up this, putting it in my handbag, just tapping it on the cheek when I feel like I need a bit extra. So pretty and super affordable. This next item is actually really similar to the Beautify product. This is from Trini London and it's one of her flush blushes. You get 4 grams worth of product. This is in the shade Wiggs, which is perfection on my skin. I have a really fair skin tone, so although I'm not frightened of vibrant blushes, as you'll have seen from the shades that I've picked previously, sometimes it's just nice to be able to be heavy-handed with a blush and not worry about it at all. And I don't have to worry with this shade. It's just utter perfection on me. And yeah, I'm in love with it. The one thing I will say about this is I do have to top it up throughout the day. This doesn't last on me all day, but it's worth the reapplication. Really is. And once again, not sticky on the cheeks at all. This next blush is glorious. It gives a subtle dewiness to the skin. It really gives life back to the face. It's very girly and very youthful, but there is a compromise to be made. So if I build this up a little too much, this can remain slightly tacky on the surface of the skin. So this is one of those blush that I only use when my hair is up because I do not want a gust of wind to blow my hair into my face. It sticks to my cheeks. It's just, that is not happening on my watch. Absolutely not. These are the Fenty Cheeks Out blushes. I have the shade Petal Popping and also Strawberry Drip. They are beautiful tones. These never let me down. If you are wanting a really fresh, summer-ready, youthful glow to the cheek, these are for you. But again, tie your hair back. I do have to reapply these throughout the day. They don't have as much longevity as, say, the NARS Air Matte blush, but I mean, they have enough staying power that I only have to reapply once throughout the day. I really like them. If you're after something a little more subtle, but you're still wanting that really dewy, radiant finish to the skin that is so supernatural and yet very, very effective, I would definitely have a look at Iconic London. This is one of their sheer blushes. It's in my favourite shade. This is Cheeky Coral. I just think it is so refreshing. It's very, very flattering on the skin and I love it. Out of all of the luminous blushes, this is probably the one that I go for most regularly because it's so natural and fresh and I can use it without using any makeup at all. I can just get up in the morning and pop a little bit of this on and you instantly look refreshed. It's a stunning blush. Plus it lasts and it doesn't feel sticky on the skin. Let's move on to the Radiant Finish liquid or cream blushes that are my ride or dies. This first one seriously packs a punch. This is super pigmented. You need the tiniest amount, but even though this is quite radiant, it does have that matte edge to it. So there is a bit of sparkle in this. Mixed with that matteness will really give you longevity. It will also give you pigment and touchability. It won't be tacky at all. It's beautiful. If you're wanting a blush with a hint of radiance, that sparkle, that glow, this is definitely worth a try. So it's quite frightening in the tub because it's seriously pigmented. This is from Shiseido and it's one of their minimalist whipped powder blushes. This is in the shade Sonoya 01. It's so beautiful. Yes, it's super pigmented, so you only need the tiniest amount, which means that this blush is going to last for an incredibly long amount of time. But because this is a whipped powder, it also feels like powder on the skin, but doesn't look like a powder on the skin. So it will have super longevity. So if you're wanting something that's matte, to go for the NARS Air Mattes. If you're wanting something that's super radiant but still has the same lasting power as the matte, Shiseido all the way. All the way. This next one has featured in a couple of videos before. You may not have noticed that I've been wearing this in a lot of videos. I'm in love with this. It's so nice. It feels lightweight, so easy to apply. It's got everything. So this is one of the Daniel Sandler watercolor liquid blushes. This is in the shade Cherub, which is my favorite shade. I also have it in a couple of other shades as well, but this still remains my favorite and the one that I reach for most often. I was actually going to put this in the matte category, but this does have a hint of sparkle in here, but it's very subtle. So if you hate sparkle at all, you're probably going to want to stay clear of this, even though it is very subtle. But if you're after something with longevity, that does have that matte edge, that is touch dry, that's so flattering and girly on the skin, but does have that hint of sparkle and luminosity and radiance, this is just really stunning on the skin. This is also one of those products that I don't have to be frightened with because this is the perfect shade for me. Cherub is one of those shades that I can put it in the palm of my hand, massage it in to warm it up a little bit and really not be frightened of getting a brush right in there and applying it straight to the cheek. It's one of those that you can build up to look very vibrant but also have it really subtle on the cheek as well. It's just very fresh. Now, if you're wanting to amp up the glow and you're also wanting something super luxurious, Chantecaille will not steer you wrong. These are superb. These are a couple of their cheek jellies and I love them both. So I've got the shades Happy and also Vibrant. You can actually use these as a highlighter if you want to. That's how glowy they are. They give you that beautiful glass skin effect. I wouldn't use Vibrant in that way because it is what it says. It's vibrant. The pigment in here definitely packs a punch, even though it's super blendable. But I would definitely do it with Happy. And I've done it with Happy a couple of times. Makes me very happy. Stunning. These are expensive, but they look exquisite on the skin. So if you're wanting that glass skin dewiness, that radiance, these are definitely worth a look. And finally, we've got to the end. This is the last blush in the Radiant category. And by the way, if you've worked your way all the way through, I have no idea how many blushes are actually in this video. Well done you. Leave a comment. You're all amazing. You're absolutely amazing. This seriously amps up the radiance and it's super affordable. You have to like sparkle to like this blush. So if you really don't like sparkle, this will not be for you. But I feel this is not a dupe by no way, shape or form, but it's similar, shall we say, a little bit similar to one of the Chanel cream sticks. This is from e.l.f., one of their monochromatic multi-sticks, and it's in the shade Glimmering Guava. Now, once again, you do have to like the shimmer because this is super shimmery, but it's got that beautiful terracotta-y apricot sheen on the skin with a gold fleck. It's stunning. It really is. And for £4, it's definitely worth going and giving this a go. If you like a blush with a bit of sparkle, or rather, if you like a blush with a lot of sparkle, definitely worth a try. So I've gone through all of my favourite blushes, but which ones are my favourites in each category? So, I mean, the first category only has one blush in, but if you are wanting something that's matte, that's going to stay put all day, that's quite airbrushing, this is definitely your guy. The NARS Air Matte blush is just phenomenal, and I love it in all of the shades that I've got. A more luminous matte category, we have the Lisa Eldridge. I adore this. I absolutely adore this. If you can't get your hands on this at the moment, something that is very similar in overall look is the Revolution Super Dewy. So that is my second favourite if you can't get your hands on the Lisa Eldridge at the moment. The more luminous dewy category has to be the iconic London Sheer Blush, just because it is super fresh, really natural, and very, very girly, and sometimes that is just my vibe. And in the last category, the Radiant category, if you're not scared of a bit of sparkle, I highly recommend you try out the Shiseido Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush. And this one is in the shade Sonoya, which is 01 and is covered in stuff. But I love every single blush that I've mentioned in this video. I did say it was going to be a long one, didn't I? I pre-warned you in the last video. I hope you all got a little drink and got yourself comfortable before this video started. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I hope you found this helpful. Hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.